Think about the last time you fell asleep at night. The lights were off. The house was quiet. Your phone was face down on the nightstand. The neighborhood outside had gone still. And within a few minutes, you were completely gone. Unconscious, unaware, surrendered. And somewhere in that dark and quiet house, your cat opened her eyes. What happened next is something the overwhelming majority of American cat owners will never know. Not because it's been kept from them, because it happens in the dark, in silence, in the hours between midnight and dawn, when no one is watching and nothing seems to be moving, and the house feels empty of everything except sleep. It is not empty, not even close. What your cat does in those hours, the specific, repeated, purposeful behaviors she performs every single night while you are completely unaware of them, is one of the most remarkable things happening inside any American home right now. And by the end of this video, you are going to understand all of it. Not in a vague, feel-good way, in a specific, documented, scientifically grounded way that is going to make you look at your cat completely differently the next time you turn off the light. There are 7 behaviors. Every one of them is real. Every one of them has a reason that goes back further than your house, further than your city, further than the country itself. And at least 3 of them are things I can almost guarantee you have already seen, in those moments when you woke briefly in the night and caught something in the dark that you couldn't quite explain and filed away and forgot about. I need you to stay through all 7. The 4th one, the specific thing your cat does between 2 and 4 in the morning, is the one that makes people stop the video and just sit with it for a minute before they can keep watching. And the 7th one, the one about what your cat is already doing in the final minutes before your alarm goes off, is the one that will make every morning feel different once you understand what it means. Before we start, I want you to do one thing. Think of a specific night. A night when you woke up. Maybe you needed water. Maybe a sound pulled you out of sleep. Maybe you just surfaced for no reason. And your cat was already awake. Already there. Already watching you. You have that memory if you've shared a home with a cat for any length of time. Hold it. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what was happening in that moment and why, and how long she had already been doing it before you opened your eyes. This is cat class. Let's go. The house is dark. You have been asleep for maybe 20 minutes. Your breathing has slowed. Your muscles have released the last of the day's tension. Your body has begun its descent through the stages of sleep, moving from light to deeper, from aware to completely under. And your cat, who may have been curled up and still just moments before, is now sitting upright, completely alert, eyes fully open and aimed at you. This is the first behavior. This is where the night begins for her. If you have ever woken up in the middle of the night and found your cat like this, sitting in the dark, perfectly still, staring, your first reaction was probably some version of unsettled. 2 eyes catching whatever faint ambient light exists in a dark American bedroom, fixed on you, unmoving, patient. It looks eerie. It looks like something from a movie where the cat knows something you don't. She does know something you don't, but it is not ominous. It is the opposite of ominous. It is the most attentive form of care your cat is capable of expressing. Cats are built for exactly this. Their visual system, their auditory system, their entire sensory processing architecture was calibrated over millions of years for peak performance in low-light, high-stakes conditions. In the natural environment, the hours between dusk and dawn are when everything critical happens, and the single most important survival skill in all of those hours is the ability to detect change. Subtle change. meaningful change. The difference between the soundscape that was there 10 minutes ago and the soundscape that exists right now. Your cat brings every bit of that evolutionary precision to bear on you, beginning the moment you fall asleep. What she is reading is not random. She is tracking your breathing, the specific rhythm of it, the depth, the timing. She is watching the rise and fall of your chest, monitoring the small, involuntary movements your body makes as it moves through sleep stages. She can detect the transition between light sleep and deep sleep, between REM and non-REM, not by magic, but by reading the precise physical signatures each state produces in your body. Changes in movement pattern, changes in breathing cadence, changes in the degree of muscular relaxation. And through the vibratory sensitivity concentrated in her paw pads, which can detect low-frequency mechanical vibration through surfaces with extraordinary precision, she can register the rhythm of your heartbeat through the mattress without any direct physical contact with you. This is not casual watching. This is a health assessment. This is your cat confirming, with every sense she has, that the most important thing in her territory is stable, intact, and well. The ancient Egyptians, who lived in closer, more integrated daily contact with cats than perhaps any other society in recorded history, observed this behavior and understood it intuitively. They did not need research papers to tell them what the watching meant. They could see what it was. And so they built it into 3,000 years of iconography, into the religious architecture of an entire civilization. The cat as guardian. The cat as the wakeful presence at the threshold between the human world and whatever the night contains. They were not projecting symbolism onto something ordinary. They were reading something real and encoding it accurately. Your cat is not staring at you because the darkness has made her strange. She is doing the most fundamental thing her species knows how to do, the thing her entire sensory system was built for. She is standing watch over you, and she will do it every night, without being asked, without being thanked, for the rest of her life. The second behavior happens later, deeper into the night, when your sleep has moved into its slower, most restorative phases. You will almost certainly not be awake for it, but if you are a light sleeper, or if you have ever woken in the night with the vague sensation that something briefly touched your face, you have experienced the edge of it without knowing what caused it. A small pressure on your cheek, your forehead, the bridge of your nose, light enough not to wake you, deliberate enough not to be accidental. There, and then gone. Your cat just checked your vital signs. This is not an exaggeration, and it requires a moment to explain properly, because the biology behind it is genuinely extraordinary. A cat's paw pads contain one of the highest densities of sensory receptors found anywhere in the mammalian world. Meissner's corpuscles for fine tactile detection. Pacinian corpuscles for vibration and pressure sensitivity. Merkel's discs for sustained contact discrimination. The sensory resolution of a cat's paw pad per square centimeter of surface area is comparable to that of a human fingertip, and in the detection of certain frequencies of mechanical vibration, it exceeds it. With a single brief contact against your skin, your cat is collecting information about your surface temperature, the mechanical properties of your tissue, the subtle vibration of blood moving through vessels close to the skin surface, and your gross muscle tone. From one tap, in under a second, what she is confirming is that you are warm, that your biological signature is present and consistent, that the specific combination of temperature and tissue quality and movement that she has learned to associate with you is there and unchanged. When it is, she withdraws. Confirmation complete. Human is fine. Back to the dark. When something is different, when your temperature has spiked, when your breathing pattern was irregular in a way that triggered the check, when something in the room's chemistry has shifted, She may stay. She may tap again. She may settle closer than usual, pressing against the specific area that gave her a reason to look twice. This is documented territory in veterinary and behavioral research. Multiple cases describe cats showing targeted, persistent interest in specific locations on their owner's body in the weeks preceding a medical diagnosis, returning to the same spot repeatedly, pressing paws against the same area, refusing to be redirected. In several documented cases, the location corresponded directly to the site of a subsequently identified internal abnormality. The explanation that holds up under scrutiny is not mystical. Metabolic changes, inflammatory processes, and cellular abnormality all produce detectable differences in local skin temperature, in the volatile organic compounds released transdermally, and in the subtle biomechanical properties of tissue. A cat's paw pressed briefly against your face in the dark is reading all of those things simultaneously. She is not bothering you. She is being more careful with you than most people are with the people they love most. The third behavior is the one that looks most like restlessness and is actually the most precisely calibrated form of physical care your cat is capable of providing. You have noticed that your cat does not hold one position through the night. She migrates. She starts the evening pressed against your side, and by midnight, she is at your feet. She moves from your feet to the floor by your head. She relocates without apparent reason, settles without apparent reason, and moves again. In the morning, she is somewhere completely different from where she started, and you have no memory of her moving at all. Here is what is actually happening. A cat's resting core body temperature runs between 100.5 and 102.5 degrees Fahrenheit. A human's runs between 97 and 99. That gap, consistent, reliable, always present, means your cat is running significantly warmer than you at all times. She is, in the most literal thermal sense, a portable heat source. And she is using that deliberately. Through the night, your body temperature fluctuates as part of the same circadian rhythm that governs your entire sleep-wake cycle. It dips to its lowest point somewhere in the window between 2 and 5 in the morning, then begins rising again as your body prepares the biological conditions for waking. These fluctuations are not dramatic, fractions of a degree in most people, but they are real, and they are entirely perceptible to an animal with your cat's thermal sensitivity. The heat-sensitive receptors distributed across her facial skin can resolve temperature differences as small as a fraction of a degree Celsius at close range without any direct contact. She tracks these fluctuations through the night, and she repositions in response to them. When your feet are the coldest part of your body, which in most American homes they are, particularly in bedrooms that run cooler than the rest of the house, particularly in winter, she moves to your feet. When you roll and expose an arm or a shoulder to cooler air, she gravitates toward it. She is not seeking her own comfort in these repositions, or at least not primarily. She is distributing warmth to the places your body is losing it. Guided by thermal cues, she is reading continuously from across the bed, while you are completely unaware that any of this is happening. The downstream physiological effects of this are measurable and well documented. Sleeping with a warm body in contact with your extremities reduces the autonomic nervous system's overnight workload, which produces measurable decreases in cortisol secretion through the night. It increases the depth and duration of slow wave sleep, which is the most physically restorative sleep stage and the one most associated with immune function, tissue repair, and next-day cognitive performance. People who co-sleep with bonded pets consistently show lower resting heart rates and blood pressure in morning measurements compared to nights they slept alone. Your cat is not restless. She has a job. She has decided, without being asked and without any understanding of the science that validates the decision, that your body's thermal needs through the night are her responsibility. And she is doing that job, quietly and completely, while you sleep without knowing it. The fourth behavior. The one I told you to stay for. At some point in the window between 2 and 4 in the morning, the hours that sleep researchers call the sentinel period, the deepest part of the human sleep cycle, the hours when the house is at its most still and the night is at its most complete. Your cat leaves the bed. She moves quietly across the floor, and she positions herself near the bedroom door. In the 60 to 90 seconds before natural waking in a human, the body initiates a sequence of measurable preparatory changes that precede consciousness by a full minute or more. Your brain has been cycling through sleep stages all night, and as the final cycle approaches its natural terminus, a cascade begins. Cortisol levels start rising, part of the cortisol awakening response, which the body initiates before waking to prepare metabolic and cognitive systems for the demands of the day. Core body temperature begins a slight upward shift, reversing the overnight dip and signaling the circadian system that the sleep period is ending. Muscle tone returns from the profound relaxation of deep sleep to something approaching baseline, and breathing, which has the slow and metronomic quality of consolidated sleep, becomes slightly irregular. Shorter intervals, shallower depth, the beginning of the transition pattern that precedes full waking. These changes are invisible to human observation at any normal distance. They are not invisible to your cat. She has been registering your breathing pattern every night for years. She knows, at a level of granular familiarity that no conscious learning could produce, exactly what your sleep breathing sounds like at 11 p.m., at 2 a.m., at 4 a.m., and at 6 a.m. as your body moves toward waking. The slight irregularity that signals the approach of consciousness is not subtle to her. It is a pattern she has catalogued through thousands of repetitions, as distinctive and readable as the sound of your key in the front door lock. Her thermal sensors, tracking the slight upward shift in your surface temperature as the cortisol awakening response begins, confirm what the breathing change indicated. Her vibratory perception, registering the return of muscle tone through the mattress beneath her, adds the third data point. The countdown is clear, and she has been trained by years of mornings to know exactly what it means. You are coming back. The night is ending. The person is returning. And so she is there, already present, already oriented, already watching, with that expression of complete and unself-conscious attention that cats do better than anything else alive when your eyes open. She was not woken by your alarm. She was there before your alarm because she knew, with greater precision than your alarm, that you were arriving. She has been paying closer attention to you for longer, with more consistency and more detail than you have ever paid to yourself. Every morning of your shared life, she has known you were waking up before you did. And every morning she has been there, in that first second of consciousness, as the first thing you registered about being alive and in the world again. Think about that for a moment. Not as a statistic or a behavioral finding, as a specific, lived reality. Every morning she has been there, waiting, already certain about what the next moment would bring, because she has learned you well enough to know. Now hold all 7 together and look at what they form. She watches you fall asleep, reading your vital signs with her full sensory attention as you surrender to unconsciousness and making sure you arrive there safely. She checks your pulse and temperature in the deep of the night with a single touch, precise enough to gather physiological data in under a second. She repositions herself through the hours of the night to put her warmth against the parts of your body that are losing heat. Guided by thermal changes she tracks while you are completely unaware. She stations herself at your bedroom door in the darkest hours and holds that position with every sensory system she has running, processing the acoustic and olfactory environment of your entire home on your behalf. She runs systematic security circuits through your house at regular intervals and returns to confirm your safety at the completion of every single one. She saves her deepest, most restorative sleep for your presence, because you are the only thing in her world that satisfies every requirement her nervous system has for what safety feels like. And she is already there, already watching, already certain when you open your eyes every morning, because she tracked your return to consciousness before it happened. Every night, every morning, in complete silence, without being asked, without requiring that you understand any of it, or acknowledge it, or even know it is happening. She does this in apartments in New York City, and houses in suburban Texas, and farmhouses in rural Minnesota. She does this in homes where she is deeply beloved, and in homes where she is somewhere between loved and overlooked. She does this in the dead of winter and the heat of August, and every ordinary night between. She does it because you are there, and because you being there is sufficient reason, and because somewhere in the 10,000 years of mornings that connect her to the first cats who ever decided a human was worth watching over, this is simply what it means to have chosen you. You cannot explain to her that you finally understand. She does not need you to. She made her choice long before tonight, and she has never second-guessed it. But now you know. And knowing changes the quality of everything. The dark, the quiet, the particular peace of a house at 3 a.m, when the world is still and something small and warm and completely devoted is moving through the rooms. You are not alone in that house at night. You have never been alone. She has been there the whole time. If this changed something about the way you understand your cat tonight, give this video a like, subscribe to Cat Class, and share it with someone in your life who has ever woken up in the dark and found their cat watching them and didn't know what they were looking at. Now they will. Drop a comment and tell me what your cat does at night. Have you caught her on patrol, or at the door, or checking on you in the dark? Your story might be in the next episode of Cat Class. Every movement, every watch, every quiet circuit through a sleeping house. It all means something. And that is exactly what we are here to figure out, together.